What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to the latest Liverpool transfer news video. And Timo Werner really wants to transfer to Liverpool. According to English newspapers, he will make even a sacrifice by saying that he will be second choice to Roberto Firmino for a while just to make Jurgen Klopp sign him. According to these reports, Timo Werner is really keen to join Jurgen Klopp. He doesn't really see Manchester United as a club that is in a good shape right now, and also Manchester United's playing style right now doesn't really appeal to Timo Werner. But let's actually read the report for you guys, and I really want this transfer to go through because Timo Werner is in red hot form. He is one of the hottest strikers on the planet right now, scoring 15 goals in just 16 games, and that is incredible considering the last season he got 19 goals, season before that 21, and 21 the season before that as well. So he is on course to have a 35 goal season, and I think that Liverpool need a striker like him because we just can't keep playing Firmino every single game, every single big game, and not expect him to get injured. Salah is already a doubt for the Liverpool's next game, which is I think against Crystal Palace, and Salah's ankle injury is still a doubt, makes him a doubt for that game. So I think Liverpool could sign Timo Werner as early as January, and according to the reports, Manchester United also want to sign Timo Werner. And even though Liverpool have a stunning season so far, Jurgen Klopp, according to this report, is refusing to rest on his laurels and get comfortable, and wants to add to his squad in the new year to maintain their impressive title push. And I think this is a huge opportunity. If Liverpool could add Timo Werner in the January transfer window, that would make them even more favorites, even bigger favorites for the title, and that would really help ease the fears of Liverpool having a small squad. And the only thing I think that could derail the title challenge for Liverpool is a lengthy injury list to key players like Mane, Firmino, Salah, Fabinho, Van Dijk, Alisson. If 2 or 3 of these players get injured, then Liverpool don't have as good backups. But that could change if we sign Timo Werner in the January transfer window. And according to these reports in the English newspapers, the Express, the Mirror, and the other newspapers are reporting this, Werner would have to agree to initially being a backup to Liverpool's, of course, famous front three. But Timo Werner has age on his side. While Mane, Firmino and Salah are like 26, 27, 28 years old, Timo Werner is still only 23 years old. So in just 2 or 3 years, Timo Werner could be the main man at Liverpool. And according to the reports, Timo Werner is happy to become a second choice striker at Liverpool because he would join such a great club and he could stay at Liverpool for many years. And Timo Werner is also looking at maybe impressing Jurgen Klopp in the wide areas. So he's not certainly not necessarily wants to be the number 9 at Liverpool, the player who is playing at the striker spot, but he would drop into the wide areas with ease, without any problem. But this transfer would make him a little bit doubt for the Germany squad for Euro 2020, but I think he's the hottest striker in Europe right now, alongside the likes of Robert Lewandowski. So I think that even if he made the switch as early as the January transfer window, then Germany would pick him because Germany don't have many strikers on the level of Timo Werner. So at Manchester United, what advantage they have over Liverpool is that they can guarantee Timo Werner a starting place up front. But according to the reports, Timo Werner is not really a fan of Manchester United's style of play. He prefers Liverpool's style to Manchester United's style, and also the fact that Manchester United are only in the Europa League, and also that Liverpool are competing for the title, competing for winning the Champions League. I mean, Timo Werner could come in and be part of one of the most exciting teams in world football right now, and also he would be part of an exciting title challenge. On the other hand, at Leipzig, Would he be able to win the Bundesliga title ahead of Bayern Munich? I don't think so. Bayern just have a huge squad of great players, and I don't think anybody can compete with them. And former Liverpool striker Emil Heskey thinks that Liverpool will sign somebody in the January transfer window. He said, I think Jurgen Klopp will reinforce the squad. He will just add one or two, maybe even two players in key areas. I don't think Liverpool have enough strength in depth in attack. They do at the back, particularly at centre-back, but going forward they are more limited. Divock Origi is handy when he comes on, but they have got a young lad like Ryan Brewster who isn't established yet, even though he's a great talent. Nobody knows what he could possibly become, Brewster, but at this moment in time we don't know if he's the next big thing yet. I mean, Heskey isn't really worried about Timo Werner's arrival, that it could upset the dressing room balance at Liverpool. I think he's insisting instead that it could spur the other players on. I mean, if Timo Werner comes in, then Salah, Mane and Firmino would know that their place is not guaranteed and they have to perform at the highest level. And that this is what Heskey said about the matter. It can rattle egos for sure, but this is where your staff will have done their homework in a sense of who you could bring into the club. Obviously it's going to upset someone, especially when they could take your place, but as a player you've got to be able to say, okay, I'm going to rise to the occasion and perform even better and show the manager that I'm the man and not the other guy who you just signed, and you should start me instead of him. Origi still has a future at Liverpool, but as a starter, someone you will put your faith in, probably not. Do you agree with Emil Heskey's comments here? I think he's not wide of the mark in most cases, and I think that this is actually a good point that he brings on. Not only would Timo Werner add more goals to this Liverpool team, I think he would score more goals than Shaqiri or Origi as a backup player, but also it could motivate Salah, Mane and Firmino to maybe even step up their game even more. I'm not saying they are playing badly, definitely not. Mane and Salah and Firmino are having good seasons. Mane a great season, other two good seasons, but that could make them step up to the plate and contribute even more. And Firmino offers a lot more than just goals. And Timo Werner, I think, perfectly suits Liverpool. He plays in a system at Leipzig which is not very different from the Liverpool system. But the way it is different is at Liverpool you are required to have this incredibly high intensity, which of course Timo Werner is not used to, and Liverpool play their games at such a pace that you probably need to get used to it. But I think it's perfect to bring him in the January transfer window, and for him to get used to the league it would take just a few weeks, maybe even a month or two. And without the added pressure of having to start every game, Timo Werner could be just eased into this Liverpool team. And now an update on Mohamed Salah's ankle injury. So James Pearce, who is a Liverpool correspondent, said this. My information is that Salah is a doubt for Crystal Palace away, but he hasn't been ruled out of that game yet. It all depends how Salah's ankle responds to the treatment of the Liverpool physios. With the schedule Liverpool have got coming up, they won't take any risks with him. So I think that Salah might not start at Crystal Palace. Shaqiri is also back from his injury, which is very, very good news, just in time when Salah has a problem with his injury. So I think maybe Mane could start on the right, Firmino in the middle, and Origi on the left, because Origi loves to play as a left winger, running at defenders. But I really hope that Salah won't be out for long. Former Arsenal hero Paul Merson, who is a pundit for Sky Sports, said some very interesting things about the title race. The title race is over, so you might as well crown Liverpool champions now. Do I think City can come back from 9 points behind? No chance. Liverpool have lost once in about 52 games. They would have to lose 3 times before the end of the season, and that's without City losing a game. Can anyone see that happening? if Liverpool win it by 8 or 9 points, that's running away with it for me. With double digits, it would be embarrassing for Manchester City. It's already embarrassing to see them in fourth. City have spent so much money. How they are 9 points behind Liverpool already? Serious questions should be asked. I don't really agree with Paul Merson here. The title race is not over. Liverpool haven't won the Premier League yet. You don't win the Premier League in November. No matter how many points you lead by, the Premier League is the most punishing, most incredibly difficult league in the world. And last season, Liverpool only lost 1 game. So they don't have to lose 3 games before the end of the season to be caught. Liverpool just lost 1 game in the second half of the season, and that was enough to lose the title to Manchester City because we drew too many games. So it doesn't make a lot of sense for Paul Merson, especially knowing how last season went, to say this. Because if there is a team in the world who can put a winning run of 15 to 20 games together, it's Manchester City. And I think, yes, serious questions should be asked, why are Man City 9 points ahead? But I think the answer to those serious questions is injury crisis. Manchester City had so many injuries in their defense that I think that's one of the reasons why they dropped too many points. Of course, they haven't performed in some games. Wolves, Norwich, they shouldn't drop points to these teams, even with the injuries that they had. But Liverpool could certainly have their own injury problems. And it already started with Salah, and also Joe Gomez pulled out from the England squad. Henderson pulled out from the England squad as well. So those players have some injury problems as well. And Virgil van Dijk commented on the title race as well. I'm not gonna say that it's Liverpool's year. It's something for the media to discuss. For players, the main thing is we focus on the game ahead of us. For me personally, it's Northern Ireland. It's a tough task. What happens with Liverpool in the future, we will see. We have no influence on it. The season is so long. My focus is on the next game. At the moment, that's with our national teams. And that's the kind of mentality that you have to have in the title race. So good on Virgil van Dijk for saying this. So the details on what happened with Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez had a collision in training with Kieran Trippier, the Atletico Madrid right back. And according to Paul Joyce, a journalist with good connections with Liverpool, he injured his knee, which is a concern. Joe Gomez at the moment is the 3rd choice centre-back, but we already have Matip out injured. So if something happens with Lovren or Van Dijk, then we will just have 1 senior centre-back at the club, and that's not what we want to see. Jordan Henderson is only out with illness, so thankfully he's not seriously injured. He probably caught a cold or something like that. And according to Football Insider and other newspapers, Xherdan Shaqiri has told friends that he will leave Liverpool next year, having featured only 40 minutes this season. But of course that was mainly because of injury. And I'm really eager to see, with Salah's ankle injury and Shaqiri back fit in the squad, how many minutes Shaqiri will get, because I really love Shaqiri as a player, but of course he doesn't have the skill set of Mohamed Salah and he's not as good a player, and maybe Jurgen Klopp sometimes didn't play Shaqiri because he didn't trust him defensively and he didn't trust him in his tactical awareness side of things, because going forward Shaqiri is a great player. He's brilliant at free kicks and he has a very good touch, good eye for a pass, but maybe defensively and maybe tactically how he sees the game, Shaqiri is not on the same level as other players. And I fully trust Jurgen Klopp and his judgment. So if he thinks that Shaqiri is not good enough for this Liverpool team anymore, then it's his decision and it's his decision alone. So nobody should really criticize him about it. It's very harsh on Shaqiri because actually Liverpool are probably now one of the best teams in the world, so it's very, very difficult to get into this side, and Shaqiri would probably start for many Premier League teams, many Premier League top 6 sides, but not for Liverpool. Rent free is the headline of the next segment, because Jurgen Klopp was living in a house which was rented from Brendan Rodgers. And actually what Liverpool did is quite remarkable. They bought that house in Formby, which was belonging to Brendan Rodgers. According to the Daily Mail, the house cost £3.75 million, and the club view it as an investment for the future, with future bosses, future Liverpool managers be able to use it as well, as has now almost become a tradition, and the value only likely to increase. And now Jurgen Klopp is able to live there rent-free. So that's where the headline comes from, and I just love this. So Jurgen Klopp so far unwilling to sign a new contract because he's unsure on how long he wants to stay at Liverpool because of burnout. With his current deal set to run out in the 2022, which is 3 seasons from now. This could be a way for the club to reward him for his success without his contract being lengthened, which is, I think, a very good gesture by Liverpool. And of course, Jurgen Klopp deserves everything that he gets from Liverpool, because he has honestly been one of the best managers in the modern history of Liverpool Football Club. And if he wins the Premier League this season, he will become an even bigger legend. He already is a Liverpool legend in my eyes and in many people's eyes, because he won the Champions League, and every manager who wins the Champions League is a Liverpool legend automatically in my eyes. But what is also remarkable, how much Liverpool improved under him. When he came in, the season when he got appointed, we finished in 8th place and we didn't even qualify for Europe. And the change is remarkable. Now we are the #1 team in Europe, probably the #1 team in England right now. I'm talking the here and now. Of course, things can change very quickly in football, but I'm just so delighted and so happy that Liverpool are so good right now. And also really embrace every game and every second of it, because this is a special team. In my opinion, this is the best team of the last 30 years at Liverpool, the best Liverpool team, shall I say. We need to savor it for as long as it lasts, because this won't last forever. Football is a cyclical game. Football works in cycles. This is a brilliant cycle for Liverpool, which is also just getting started. I think it will last at least until Jurgen Klopp is the Liverpool manager. Maybe even it will last after him. But the players that Liverpool have right now, they will age, they will retire, they will move elsewhere. And I think Liverpool probably will hit a rough patch sooner rather than later. So it's going to be very interesting how things work out in the future. But at the moment, this is honestly one of the best Liverpool teams that I have ever seen, and I'm just here to celebrate that with you guys. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.